Well, hello everyone, and welcome back to another episode of A Planet Among the Stars, the Avalon Rises Astrology Analysis. I am Dr. Jane, and today I am excited to talk to you about the July new moon in 2022, which is the new moon in Leo for this year. So, if you had watched the previous video that we did about the transition of the sun into Leo, I talked a lot about the energy of Leo as a sign and what that energy is bringing to the table. And one of the core qualities and virtues of Leo is that energy of royalty, right? As exemplified by that lion, the king of the jungle, right? So that energy of royalty is very, very present. And so, these energies that I discussed in Leo are going to be very present with this new moon, which is happening on July 28th, 2022 this year. But this new moon is also going to carry with it some other aspects to it that are really going to enhance a particular aspect of this royal energy. That's really, really, really an important critical quality of royalty, which is service. Okay, so I didn't actually speak directly to this in the video about Leo season. I did speak a little bit, I hinted around it, right? I did speak a little bit about how when we are really acting from that place of our divine sovereignty, then we are going to treat ourselves differently. We are going to treat our dwellings differently. We are going to treat our other fellow sovereigns differently. And how do I mean when I say differently? I mean, we're going to serve, because a true sovereign serves, right? The difference between a just sovereign and a tyrannical one is one who is actually in service, right? And so this new moon is actually coinciding with the planet Jupiter going retrograde. So I am going to be doing another video about the Jupiter retrograde separately, but I do want to kind of touch a little bit on it here because it is really going to color the theme of this new moon, because it is overlapping with this new moon. And Jupiter is, I joke about him being the jolly giant of the planets, but he is very much associated with the energy of service, of charity, of giving, abundance. And I'll speak a little bit more about that, as well as the Kabbalistic association of Jupiter in the video dedicated just to him. But this is really, that coincidence, right? Not coincidence, but coincidence. These two energies coinciding together of Leo in the new moon and Jupiter retrograde are really going to bring forth that aspect of royalty that is service to this new moon. And I want to kind of circle back to how we have been seeing this year astrologically really pushing us to bring in the new paradigm, right? A new world order. Because we can all look around. We all know, like, this is no secret at this point, guys, right? Like, we can all look around at the world and be like, oh, wow, this is really broken. Okay, right? And now we've had this whole year and all of the astrological lessons that are being handed to us personally, but also collectively. And now, Neptune is in Pisces in its retrograde, and it's calling us to imagine, what about a world where there wasn't hunger? What about a world where people weren't harming each other? What about a world where everyone was treated like kings and queens? And so imagine, when we are being pushed towards this new paradigm, royalty is so important for that. Because imagine what a world would look like if every single person had that level of self-worth. if we actually treated every person like a divine king or queen, if we actually treated ourselves, if every person actually treated themselves that way. Okay, right? So I think we can all agree that the world would be a pretty different place. And so here we are now, and this new moon is an opportunity. It is an opportunity to look at this in your life. And remember, new moons are beginnings. They are the beginning of a cycle. And so they are the perfect opportunity to set intentions. We are always doing intention setting, planting seeds, making a wish, whatever you want to call it. That's what we're doing at the new moon. And so the new moon is giving us an opportunity to see where in our lives we could set an intention around this particular theme. Because again, remembering that these planets are working with us personally, they are pushing us to evolve personally, because that's the only way that the collective will evolve, right? We can't sit here and say, well, everybody else needs to change. That's not going to get us anywhere. The only way for the collective to change is for individuals to change, right? And so this new moon is giving you an opportunity to look at this in your life and set the intentions around royalty in your life. And remembering that this is really carrying that tone of service and worthiness. How are you serving yourself, right? How are you honoring yourself? What is one thing you can change to serve or honor yourself more fully? How are you serving your kingdom or your queendom, your house, your plants, your animals? Are you expressing gratitude for your dwellings, for your space, for your material objects? This may seem strange, but at the end of the day, we are just expecting everything around us to shield us from all the elements, to protect us, to hold our things, to still be there. Do we say thank you? Do we express our gratitude in our actions and our love to our kingdom or our queendom? And how are you serving others in your life? We all have ways that we can enhance this energy in our lives. Okay, so absolutely myself included. And when I was meditating on this subject and reflecting on this subject, it really struck home to me about how many things I take for granted. Because gratitude is such an important aspect of true royalty, right? So thank you, walls. Thank you, phone. Thank you, table. Thank you, me, for all of this stuff, right, that I'm doing in my life. And we have to start this within. And if we actually start this within ourselves and use this opportunity to make these shifts inside ourselves, it will actually naturally begin to express outward in your life. If you are consistently putting your light and your focus to your dwelling will become more beautiful, clean, orderly, right? And it will serve you further, right? And the same is true for yourself. If you put your light to yourself and love yourself and begin expressing beauty in your life and worthiness in your life, well, then those things will come back to you. It is as within, so without, right? And so, this will naturally begin to radiate outward in your life. And we can use this new moon to reflect and set an intention. And even small shifts in energy can make a huge difference. Okay, right? So it's step by step. We don't have to do this all at once. But even a small shift, one thing that you say, I'm going to set this intention for this Leo season. I'm going to form one new habit. And I'm going to say thank you to something every day. Or I am going to serve myself in this way every day, or whatever it is, I am going to express royally in at least one way every day, just for Leo season, you will be astonished at what will change. And so if you can set this intention now at the new moon, the other thing that's cool is this new moon forms a special relationship with the full moon that's coming in 2 weeks, which is going to be in Aquarius. And remember that Aquarius is a sign of individuality. It is a sign of authenticity. And Aquarius and Leo are balancing signs. They are across the wheel from each other. So how perfect is it that you are being called to express your royalty and set intentions around expressing that true nature of your individuality. And then the full moon is going to bring to fruition this cycle all about your individuality. It's almost like they just work together. It's so fun. So really together, this moon cycle is calling us just step by step to step into our personal power as the royal and divine beings that we are and express that individuality within ourselves and without. So I hope that this was of service to you here on this Leo new moon. And if you have any questions, of course, always, we love it when people drop comments on the videos or reach out, join our email list. And we would love to talk to you about all of these ideas further. They are absolutely foundational to the work that we do. All right, lots of love.